Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's Mississippi's Chief Meteorologist, Matt Lobhon.
What is it, about 11:47 in the morning here on your Tuesday? I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lobhon. Thank you for joining us here on Mississippi Live Weather. Apologize for the white t-shirt. I'm a little under the weather. This is not going to be a super long one. Severe weather chances remain very limited the remainder of today as the storms gradually work into Alabama, where they should get a little bit stronger. But did just want to at least give a little bit of a heads up here as we're kind of watching a few thunderstorms out there. I appreciate all the folks who watched us overnight last night with some of the thunderstorms that we did have. Luckily, most non-severe in what they were producing for today, but certainly watching that potential here as well. I'm going to go ahead and kind of mute my watch for just a moment and give folks a few moments to get on there. Appreciate y'all for following us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the good stuff. And of course in the Mississippi Live Weather app. But we are watching some showers and thunderstorms here near the Alabama state line, kind of working their way toward the east. I'll zoom this in a little bit closer. Again, Noxubee, Pickens, Lowndes counties where these are heavier. Again, these are all well below severe limits and hopefully going to stay that way as we progress forward into the remainder of today. As you can see, this 1 hour loop again showing those kind of working their way from west to east, kind of through Noxubee County now into Pickens County, Alabama. One of the things we talked about a lot last night, that fuel for thunderstorms, very limited in our area. This is kind of a zone where that moisture is kind of showing up a little more impressively down here. And as we talked about a lot last night, really, if you're north and west of where this kind of frontal boundaries come through, all this area here, I think we're largely done. Cloudy, cooler, and starting a trend. It'll be quite a bit cooler heading toward your Thanksgiving holiday. So that also shows up kind of to a certain extent looking at temperatures, but not as dramatic a contrast there at this time. Back over here to Mississippi Live Weather Radar and back to the precipitation mode there. We did have, again, a report of a tornado overnight, at least some tornado debris confirmed on Mississippi Live Weather Radar down there closer to locations west of Jackson. Still a few damage reports in that part of the state. We did do a little bit of coverage on that overnight. And then a wind report there south and east of Philadelphia along Dean Road there. Again, just some sporadic tree damage. Luckily, nothing really beyond that in our area during the overnight hours. Northern part of the state, not as much. And then obviously more damage reports back out there into Alabama. North Mississippi storm chasers have been out pretty much all night long. Adrian Roncajon, who is one of their main chasers down in some of these thunderstorms, kind of watching things down there toward Noxubee County, north of Meridian as well. But again, it's just kind of clouds moving through, nothing that's overly impressive. Again, this is the North Mississippi Storm Chasers, Adrian there with his live shot, just kind of monitoring things, but not really seeing much out there at this point in time. Not that I think is a dramatic shock to a lot of folks. Coming to the Macon area, I'll check out our camera there again with the North Mississippi Storm Chasers. A decent amount of rainfall, clearly, as I'll kind of flip this over here for a moment, looking into, next to the roadway there, this would be Highway 45. Obviously, a lot of good solid rainfall there, but this largely looks like stable atmosphere. You have that lower level cloud cover there, but again, not much vertical development with that. Most things here say non-severe on this, again, past and behind that line there. 79 current temperature. The most recent reading there still has a southeast wind, and that dew point is 69. We expect that kind of shift around to the north and west, kind of behind this, as we gradually see a shift in that wind direction. Looking around the Lowndes County area, similar story as well. Camera in the Columbus area. Number of MDOT cameras there. Again, damp roadways, 64, so obviously a little cooler there. Similar values coming in with our North Mississippi Storm Chaser camera there in Caledonia, kind of back in the cloudiness and the murkiness. And that measure of moisture there showing up a lot lower at about 64. Again, that 5 degrees might not sound like much, but it's the difference between just rain and something more than rain. And so thankfully that is not what most of us are contending with here. So where do we go from here? A couple ways we can show that. I'm going to look at future radar here for a moment. That gets us through kind of the next hour or so, something we haven't shown a whole bunch over time, but you can see those showers largely between now and the next 2 hours, kind of exiting. I'll walk kind of through this more in time there. Exiting Noxubee County, still mainly in Pickens County, Fayette County, Alabama, parts of Tuscaloosa County by about 12:50 or so, and even by about 2 o'clock, most of those even out of locations back here into Pickens County, Alabama. Our severe weather risk for today then is, as you would imagine, for locations primarily to the east. Most of us have been eliminated from that level 1 risk as well. And so it is in the zone east where, again, there does remain a limited chance for a couple of isolated tornadoes. Not a lot, but a chance there with that moisture slightly more prevalent than it was in some spots overnight. No significant or strong tornadoes likely out of this for today. Wind in similar spots, but I'd say a lesser likelihood of that. And then, of course, some hail potential, but again, that more limited than the wind and the tornado potential. But as you can see, that is all to the east of us. A couple ways we'll look at this as well. I'm going to bring up a Futurecast, one of the versions of our HRRR model here, kind of showing, again, that activity kind of working eastward. And then after that, not much developing behind it as temperatures remain relatively cool and then get a lot cooler by later on tonight. So kind of the real headline, as I kind of bring it back here at the beginning, give me a moment, is again where those showers are, pretty well depicted here on our HRRR model. And after that, no redevelopment. So we're largely in good shape the remainder of today, and as far as that is concerned there. Now, if you do have some storm reports to pass along to us, one of the easiest ways to probably do that is using the Mississippi Live Weather app, free and available for all those various devices there. Just go ahead and, of course, download that, iOS and Android. I know we got a lot of folks follow us on Facebook. We do appreciate the comments back and forth, like Bobby and Jackson and Charlotte all talking with us this morning. The app, probably the easiest way to send in those pictures and photographs, things of that nature. And in reference to that there, do want to also mention that, again, the code RED that a lot of folks for alerts subscribe to, unfortunately, is down due to a hack. Not sure exactly when that is going to come back up, but something to certainly kind of keep in mind, making sure you have different layers of armor there to protect you. So, of course, Weather Call, the one that we recommend, what I have for my family, and it lets me know if, and lets them know if we're in the danger zone there. Mississippi Live Weather app, excellent for those alerts. Of course, sometimes the lightning alerts, middle of the night, that's not as much fun. I don't know about you. I sometimes have even on my app, I sometimes have Do Not Disturb on there, but Weather Call is something I never leave on Do Not Disturb, because if it's calling, usually that means something is happening to where we need to take action there. But unfortunately, code red down for the foreseeable future. Hopefully they can get that fixed, the folks that own that company at some point soon. Weather Radio, FEMA app, Red Cross has an app as well. But again, the reason why I always talk about Weather Call is because apps are great, but you either get a phone message or you don't. There is a fee that goes along with that. It is worth it for every night that you can sleep through. Trust me, if you could pay $15 for one really, really good night's sleep when everyone else stayed up worrying all night long, that's where the benefit for Weather Call comes in there. All right. So with that in mind, Judy, hi, talking to y'all there in Iuka. I should comment here on the beard here for a moment, because that is something that, some folks have brought up from time to time there. The reason why we're doing the beard is No Shave November. My father-in-law is a prostate cancer survivor. And, it's about talking about men's health and the fact that men are dumb. I'm a man, so I could say that. And we don't ever take care of our health like we should. And so, making sure to get those prostate exams, making sure to say, oh, I've got a pain, we need to check that out. That can be a life-saving decision there. And so this is to, for No Shave November, to draw attention to not just prostate cancer, but all sorts of men's health issues. It will go away at the end of this. It's the longest beard I've ever had in my life, most substantial beard. And I hate it. But, I'm doing it so that we can have this conversation here. All right. Let's see if there are any other questions kind of coming in. But as we bring it back here, kind of wheel it back around to Mississippi Live Weather Radar and kind of its latest scans at this point in time here. Still watching, again, Pickens County, Alabama, out there toward Carrollton. I do want to check something else here, if you give me a moment. Weather Service Jackson has put down more information on that tornado report back out there. I'm going to make this a much longer loop. Give me a moment here. I might have to go back 12 hours to show this. So this is going back way to when this was down in the area. And yes, okay, I wondered on the positioning last night because it did not look right. So let's go back down here because it looked like the tornado debris signature was in a different spot. Anyway, sorry. So this is the new report coming in. That's really, really small there. So I'll kind of read you what it has to say. And again, this was back around the 2 a.m. time period that moved through there. Because right there, because it looked like a tornado debris signature. Anyway, okay. Tornado touchdown overnight in western Hinds County in the vicinity of the Bet-Geiher, I apologize that I haven't learned that road, and Canada Cross Road. NWS field survey teams found damage supportive of EF0 rating in the area concurrent with radar-derived tornado debris signature. The tornado moved gradually or generally south of due east along Canada Cross Road and which becomes Bill Strong Road east of Middle Road. Several trees were downed along the path, and some of the trees snapped trunks. Inspection of trees and consultation with local officials confirmed that snapped trees were dead or otherwise weak. For this reason, tornado rated EF0 with a peak intensity despite the snapped trunks. Otherwise, damage was confined to vegetation, mostly smaller limbs. The tornado lifted along Bill Strong Road after traveling nearly 2 miles along the roadway. Tornado was estimated to have a maximum winds of 75 miles per hour, was on the ground for approximately 1.75 miles with a maximum width of around 100 yards. And moving around 50 miles per hour, forward speed, which it doesn't say on there, but it was moving 50 miles per hour. That probably on the ground, only about 2 minutes or so. So that's the one problem with these is sometimes, when they come out, when they touch down, they don't touch down for long. Again, this going back to 1:59 a.m. here. We were able to see that tornado debris signature there. I'll go ahead and circle it for you. And this was about the only one that we had overnight as that kind of worked its way eastward. So let's see if I can lapse increment 1 minute. Oop, we're going to go all the way back here. It's going to be hard to kind of catch. There we are. Just that one blip showing up, and then it sort of showed up there toward Morningstar Road the next scan, but that was about it. And so thankfully that's about as rough as things got last night with the storms, was that one brief tornado. Yeah, I can actually see it right there as well. So that's that whole slightly south of east. So yeah, outside of that, luckily no other reports of tornadoes, though we did have, again, a little bit of damage up here, kind of southeast of Philadelphia, where there was some strong straight line winds with that. There's another little area that's kind of showing some circulation down here with this earlier, but again, this was 4 o'clock in the morning, so we're solidly past that at this point. So where do things stand as of now? Let's put this into and make this a 1 hour loop here. And again, still watching some of these storms back for Macon, working their way eastward, and gradually out of here, Carrollton reform as they kind of work their way eastward. So let's look at the, pause that there, current time, Futurecast radar, where it goes from here. So again, Futurecast radar shows that largely over the next kind of hour and a half or so continues to work its way eastward, and by really 1 o'clock it's out of Mississippi, and by 2 o'clock it's mostly out of Pickens County, Alabama as well, which would be the last county that we kind of cover here for Mississippi Live. All right, so next live broadcast, it'll be coming up today at 5 p.m. Unless for whatever reason something goes super sideways on this, that's probably when we'll do the next one here. But to kind of clarify, Amber was asking about, are we looking at bad weather in Northeast Mississippi or Corinth, or, we're past that, I think, as far as today is concerned. It's really kind of this isolated zone down south and west we're watching. We'll have updates on, where we go from here, from the Room to Room Weather Center, starting at 5 p.m. This evening. But also, again, if we kind of look behind this for just a moment, we do not have anything of major significance kind of behind this wave. So we're largely done after this. So I'll leave you with kind of a shot here with the North Mississippi Storm Chasers, again, driving around, watching some of those thunderstorms down there, southeast of the Golden Triangle. They're into Alabama on Alabama 14, kind of in some of those showers, but luckily no significant organization on those. Appreciate them for all the hard work that they put in on nights like this. But certainly it is not an overall impressive setup by any stretch of the imagination, thankfully. All right, We'll see you at 5 and 6 o'clock. Keep it here for the latest, and thanks for supporting us here on the Mississippi Live Weather.
This roof's getting installed with our premium roofing system. Backed by our 50-year warranty. And there's a 0% financing, no payment for 6 months options that this customer utilized. If you're looking for a new roof and you need an affordable option, call Absolute Restoration.